Yadier Delvai won in the first round by submission over Isaac Dulgarian over the weekend, but the fight has become suspicious because of the betting that took place right before it and how it panned out. Delvai was the underdog, but a lot of money came in on him at the last minute, and that included bets on him winning in the first round, which is a bit strange because Dulgarian's never been finished in the first round, but then he ended up getting finished in the first round. Bookmaking company William Hill actually offered refunds to customers. Mobile customers with losing bets on Dulgarian UFC fight will receive a cash credit within 24 hours or within 24 hours of the last leg being determined of a parlay should that bet have won without that leg included. Some of the craziest line movement I've ever seen for an MMA fight. Dulgarian was a minus 230 favorite to start the day. He closed as an underdog and got absolutely destroyed. Sharp read or leaked injury. Someone posted before the fight, nothing confirmed obviously, but I'm hearing there's something going on with Dulgarian versus Delvai. Not sure if it concerns about a fix or an injury. Friend who works at the Hard Rock says they got 5 very large bets from different people on Delvai round 1. Activity was flagged in their system, and apparently there's lots of buzz about it right now. We just saw one of the clearest examples of a fixed fight in UFC history. Dulgarian was a betting favorite. Line drops over 100 points in the space of a few hours before fight time. Round 1 prop is pulled from every book. The fight starts, he shoots a shitty takedown, gives his back, gives his neck, and taps in round 1. I guess a lot of people really weren't liking how he was defending that choke too. Dulgarian punching and never protecting his neck. UFC just had a fixed fight. Money doesn't lie. It did seem a little weird that he was trying to punch his way out of a rear naked choke at one point. It seemed like a very amateurish move for him because he's not an amateur. He has 9 pro fights and he's a good fighter. It seems like he was getting out of the choke and then getting back in the choke, getting out of the choke, getting back in that choke. But maybe it just seems suspicious looking back after the fact when you see all the bets that came in for him to lose in round 1 and then he gets tapped out in round 1. One thing Isaac Dulgarian said this week in an interview is going to get a lot of scrutiny. He said that fighters should get a percentage of sports bets.
Hey, I said, don't bet on me unless you're paying me some percentage. I'm doing all the work. That's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Like, I work my ass off every day. You know, I'm trying to support a family with this. And I think they should put like some type of clause, like 3 or 5% of what you make goes to the fighter, you know? So that's how I think they should do it, because we're the ones putting our lives on the line. We're the ones, you know, sacrificing everything, training all day long, losing a social life, all that type of stuff. So, yeah, if you're betting on me, I want some of it.
Ironically, ESPN MMA accidentally wrote that Isaac Dulgarian got the job done instead of Delvai. Michael Chiesa on the post-fight show also noted that Dulgarian's submission defense looked really ridiculous. He was not peeling the arm and hand to get out of the rear naked choke. He was not doing day one jiu-jitsu stuff, in Chiesa's opinion. And he also noted that the commentary team were questioning what the hell he was doing too. This just adds further suspicion to an already suspicious situation.
I just don't know if he was just surprised that Delvai stuck the first takedown. Did he think he was just going to buzz through the guy? Delvai just had him lost and had him out of sorts to where, I mean, that's jiu-jitsu 101. If you're on the main card of a UFC, it's one thing if you just kind of get punched into submission, but a lot of like day one mistakes. I mean, you can even hear in the broadcast, like, what is this guy doing? I mean, it's, you peel the top hand. You don't punch behind you. That is the most useless strike you could possibly throw. I'm sitting here on the pre-show hyping you up as a guy that could go into the top 5 and win fights. And it doesn't even look like you could fight somebody in the bottom of the top 500. It just, I got to be honest here, that was a F- performance. It was absolute trash.
Dulgarian also looks more suspicious because his connection to James Krause, the coach at the center of the UFC's biggest betting scandal. Dulgarian apparently trained with Krause in the past, so that automatically raises red flags if something odd happens in one of his fights. Krause was permanently banned for allegedly being involved in insider betting and fight manipulation, so since he once trained under him, he's going to be under more scrutiny when something like this happens. The FBI was and maybe still is investigating James Krause. FBI just concluded their NBA betting investigation. Terry Rozier was one of the players charged with using insider info to place bet on the unders. He had intimate knowledge of the games and also intentionally took himself out of a game early, on one occasion at least, to influence the points scored. Former UFC fighter and pro wrestler Tom Lawler thinks that looked a lot like pro wrestling. Why didn't the referee raise Isaac Dulgarian's hand 3 times to see if he was ready to say uncle? Could Dulgarian have done a better job? Play on words there. Fans didn't hide their feelings on Isaac Dulgarian's Instagram account. Congrats, you earned yourself an FBI investigation. Even some sports books are refunding. Legend of James Krause lives on. This guy should be investigated. Rigged. I hope you got paid well. Investigate this guy ASAP. get cut. That performance was embarrassing. Did you get paid to lose? I don't even train MMA. I know you have to fight the choking arm hand instead of throwing useless punches. In the main event of the card, Steve Garcia got a first-round TKO victory over David Onama. So now Garcia has 6 wins in a row in the featherweight division. He also has 5 knockouts in the featherweight division. Garcia got a $50K performance of the night bonus for his efforts. Jeremiah Wells picked up a decision victory over Temba Garimbo. Cody Durden was tapped out by Alan Nascimento in round 2. Charles Radke got a submission victory over Daniel Frunza with about 30 seconds left in the fight. Radke played it smart and took the fight to the ground and used his ground game. He likes to strike and is good at it, but he realized the smartest strategy was taking Frunza to the ground, and it paid off for him with the 3rd round sub. Ilya Lakana gets the 1st round submission victory over Kevin Christian. Timmy Kuamba took the 2nd and 3rd round en route to a decision victory over Chang Ho Lee. Dante Johnson gets the 2nd round submission victory over Cedricus Dumas. Norma Dumont wins a split decision over Ketlin Vieira. A lot of people thought that was the wrong decision and went the wrong way. Alice Ardelian wins the unanimous decision over Montserrat Ruiz. She outstruck her in every round, 32-19 in round 1, 44-21 round 2, 34-10 in round 3. Soo Kyun Ko wins a unanimous decision over Phil Rowe, 30-27, 30-27, 30-26. He's looked very impressive with his takedowns and control. Beat Oban Elliott the same way in his last fight. Now he beats Phil Rowe by decision. Talita Alankar gets the 3rd round submission victory over Ariane Carnelosi. Herb Dean says next week there's going to be a meeting about eye pokes and something's going to be done. Enough people are fed up with eye poke situation is what Dean told Helen Yee. There's definitely going to be a meeting to go over that. Enough people are upset, enough of the right people. So early next week, I think there's a conversation happening on the 4th of November. While Makhachev would fight Topuria at 170, he doesn't want to entertain that fight at 155. How could it be interesting to me is what he says. What will I gain by going down to 155 and beating Topuria? The fans are mostly interested in it. I'm not interested in cutting weight to 155 and torturing myself again. So I guess his days at 155 are done. Yasmin Lucindo's out of her fight with Jillian Robertson. So now Amanda Lemos takes her place. Amanda Lemos versus Jillian Robertson. That's UFC Fight Night 112 on December 13th at the UFC Apex. MVP doing a civil lawsuit on the investigation of Gervonta Davis. The civil lawsuit filed against him didn't make a determination on next steps once we've completed our review and consulted with appropriate parties.
So I wake up to calls from reporters asking me about Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia. Let me just tell you why this fight is not going to happen. Ryan Garcia fights for DAZN, and Jake Paul fights on Netflix. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line. Golden Boy has a contract with DAZN. Ryan Garcia has a contract with Golden Boy. And that's just the way it is. I mean, this is business. You know, Ryan Garcia's probably going to rant saying, oh, you're keeping me from making money and this and that and fighting. No. You have to go by the law, by the rules. You have a contract with DAZN. You have a contract with Golden Boy. It just doesn't happen that way. So, anyway, until next time, we'll see you Saturday for Virgil Ortiz. But again, Ryan Garcia's next fight will be announced by me, who he's fighting, and when he's fighting next.